You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I am your host, I'm Will Melton, and this is a Channel RVA production. If you're new to this program, I'm building 52 apps this year, and I'm doing it with you guys. So you'll get to watch me today build the second half of the app that I was working on yesterday morning.
I love music. Die einzige App, die du brauchst für Nonstop Dance und DJ Music in the Mix. Jetzt neu? Mit Tomorrowland One World Radio.
All right, so I've got the stream cooking on the background over here, RVA art. You can see that there. I'm working on getting some new camera set up for you guys here, but if you're new to this program, you can check out what I am working on at studio.willmelton.com. I'm not going to pull it up right now. You can check it out on your own if you like. I'm going to get into the build here pretty quickly today because I've got some work to do. I've got a deadline tomorrow, and I have some tweaks to make to my software. So I'm going to be walking through that with you guys today. I'm going to try to figure out how to tweak my volume on my music. A second there. All right, that should be a little bit better for you guys. All right, so this program is all about showing you how I build software. And today I am finishing up Grow. Well, at least not all of it, but a piece of it. And Grow is a tool that we're building internally to be able to accelerate the pace of our business closes. So I have, you guys are probably familiar with this if you were with me yesterday. I am working with a dummy client here, West Broad Studios, on an AIO engagement. This is a pretty standard approach that I take for the work that I do. There's always going to be a lot of nuance in how we execute, but we do not want to overcomplicate the sales process that is going to get in the way of us closing deals. But there's a lot that goes into this. So if you're not familiar with what I do, I'm optimizing websites and brands to be able to show up in large language models when people ask questions about what they do. We have defined the playbook. We've run it several times over, and we've been very successful at helping our clients achieve their goals, including ourselves. And so we want to systematize this even further. We want to reduce friction in the sales process, help people understand what it is that we have to offer, help them understand why they need it, help them understand that they're already doing a lot of the things that we need to be doing as they go about marketing their business, but it might need to be tweaked, it might need to be adjusted, it might need to be incorporated into a bigger strategy that is tailored to both serve people and to serve computers, because computers are looking at this stuff nowadays. And so what I have going here is a two-stage sales process. The first stage is going to be showing people what there is in the land of AI optimization. And then the second part is going to be actually showing them what it costs to do that for them based on what their goals are. And so we really have to get clarity first, and that's what that first meeting is for. If I jump the gun and just say, here's what it costs, I could completely miss the opportunity to explain appropriately why the approach that I'm going to take is the right one. And not everybody is going to have the same approach. There are going to be variations depending on the size of the company and what their specific goals are, and many other factors. So if you're joining me today, please happen to the comments. Feel free to ask some questions. I'm running a little bit late today because it's Monday, and Mondays are always fun. We're just getting back in from a long day, and it's not always easy to get in at 5:30. So thanks for patience if you're bated breath there waiting for me to get started. I do apologize. But in any event, yesterday what we took you through was this first meeting process. And we have all these stages in here that have become perhaps excessive. And so what we want to do is actually work through that. And so I have a bunch of notes from some internal calls that I had today with my team. And we'll be able to talk to my agent here. And hey, Michael, how you doing? Thanks for coming back to watch me finish this project. I've got to present tomorrow, so this has to be done. And I've got a lot of work to do, but it's not going to be that bad. I realized some gaps. I have some overlaps, and then I have some kind of visual improvements that I want to make. So that's what we'll work on. I'm going to talk to my agent. So as I go through the very first session, I'm finding that there's some overlap in the stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go into this a la carte stuff. And I realize that a la carte stuff is somewhat hard coded. But I have certain issues like where I've already asked you to remove the under $2,000 per month and the $2,000 to $5,000 per month because that's not our customer base. And then there's other issues where these kind of ladder slides, maybe anything past number strategic 6, they all kind of change all of a sudden because they don't have that top number and label. All of a sudden everything falls is up to the top and there's a bunch of space down below that. And perhaps there's some small things here that could be improved, like when we get to the content catalog. I noticed that there's a z-index issue where we have the table spilling over to the section below. Sorry, the navigation bar. It should be falling beneath that. And when I talk about overlap, I realize that it's not in the session 1 where the overlap exists. It's actually in session 2 where we actually show pricing. There's redundancy in the pricing, and I have to talk you through that here in just a second. But other problems that exist is that we have these carousels, but only 3 things have been loaded up to them. We haven't completed listing all of the things that we're doing in these stages. And those details were provided in the sample proposal that I'll give you once again. And that is the case for every single one of those carousels. There's only 3 ever. And I want to go ahead and remove those left and right circles because they are covering up the text and they don't help us. I can instruct my team to know that they can scroll there. And we can even reveal a little bit of the 4th slide so that people know, 4th card, so that people know that there's another one coming without showing those arrows. Something else that we need to do in the first session is also maybe have some additional instructional slides that go into these. I have a diagram. I have a couple of diagrams that I want to insert, and I need to get that information. But there's a lot of text and no actual visual aids to help people understand what it is that we're talking about here. So we need to improve that, and I'm thinking about doing something maybe in between each of these. Slides to be more educational. I feel like the why this matters is an attempt to do that, but it's not. Well, maybe there's some part of this that I can't see yet because I haven't put any research into the research area, because the research area is flexible and not rigid with the things that we know that we might need. Like, I didn't find a place where I could populate how many pages of content they have that might need to be optimized. That was something that we had an override for, but I didn't see a place inside of the
media hub for
settings where I
creators.
could control that.
Subscribe at channelrva.com.
The podcast production slide has almost no content on it at all. We need to give some examples on the let's be specific about success, because there's some fillers in the blanks, but I feel like we should do a better job at outlining maybe some ideal examples. Maybe we can cover units sold. Marketing qualified leads is fine. I don't know. There could be a few different examples. I do need to drop in the HubSpot booking link into this. And that's just for the first session. When I walk through the second session, technical foundation, I think I just need to update some of these prices that are in here. So anyway, there's a lot going on here, and I have a lot of knowledge that I'm not sharing out loud because I'm kind of talking to my agent here. But what I'm trying to do is just kind of walk through the process so that I can have a smooth conversation when we get into it. And I don't know why that's not loading right now, but it's okay. I can get back out of here, or just let me do this. How do I want to do this? Oh, it's still doing that. Okay, good. I'll let that happen, and then I'm going to kind of look through some of these services here and just see what I'm dealing with, because I have. All right, so I've got a plan working to try to improve some of this, but some of it really just boils down to having some of this stuff right. So what I want to do is get back to, these should be social posts. I can't remember what a social post was. I should have this someplace, but I'll fix that later. Okay, I might go get some stuff out of HubSpot really quickly so that I can get that. What I'm going to be doing is I have to stitch everything up. And so what I'm going to do is the easy stuff. I need to get the HubSpot, what am I looking for that? Booking link, so embed widget, so that I can easily solve that problem. I might have already gotten this now that I think about it, but I could be wrong. I feel like I did that the other day on some other project. All right, I need to get into the sales area, the meeting scheduler. Okay.
tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent
All right,
creators.
so
Subscribe at
you are
channelrva.com.
in the Richmond area, check out Channel RVA. You can subscribe over here. You can also find out about our taco party on Friday. This is something that we're doing every first Friday over in our new West Broad Studios lot, right on Broad Street. This is exclusive to Channel RVA subscribers, so if you want to come into this, we just put this up yesterday. This is going to fill up pretty quickly. Been online a day, and we're not quite a quarter of the way through there. So, but I do know that we have some people bringing guests, and I haven't been able to get to everybody yet. So, if you are interested in this, you can pop over here and actually RSVP, and it will subscribe you if you choose to do that. Come hang out with us and meet the crew, meet some of the folks that hang in our world, and yeah, we're happy to host folks in the community, and lot going on at Channel RVA. That's one of the projects that I built with you guys. Maybe not the whole thing, but built some of it with you guys, and still working on it on a regular basis. Still have a lot of things cooking over there. So I'm gonna keep reading this. I'll let it update the plan before we get too crazy with stuff over there, but close out of some of the stuff that I've got open. All right. Let that plan get updated. And I want to think a little bit about this pricing. Okay, so reporting and analysis. Okay, so that's covered. All right, we want to go into flow map. All right, let me get back in here. We've got to get this attachment. Okay. All right, I'll queue up that one, and then I'm going to get in here to my service catalog again and figure out where I left off. Normally I would be doing the roadmap for this, but I've got some very specific things that I want to make, and it's more database changes here that I'll be making. So if you can hear the landscapers in the background, I do apologize for that. Chat with me. I am out of view. Okay, cool. So this work is like the hard part for me because I'm over here trying to figure out how to get to a happy place. Okay, let's see. Recording analysis.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
right. I need to save this. Okay. So, the problem that I have is when we go into the deals, if we go take a look at this, session 2 and open this up, we're going to find out. Let's go. I should be able to do a 2-finger swipe to get the carousel to slide. It's normal scroll behavior. So I'm going to just say yes to these things, and I'll show you what happens. So we need to do that. I obviously don't know what the technical remedy is yet, so that has to wait until I do the audit. That got fixed, it looks like. This is going to be interested, and something's still not right about this, because maybe I just need to go fix the prices, but I bet you that first one gets unselected. The proposal UI isn't saving properly. As soon as there's a refresh, my selections disappear even though I've checked the box and hit save. When we're in meeting 2, the interested checkbox needs to be automatically selected so that I can show the pricing for the options that are there, and I can change the status if they're something they don't need or don't want. So I've got all this stuff. Okay, so the one-time setup options on the podcast production are indicating that I can only select one option. The show launch package and the podcast strategy package are two different things. The strategy package needs to come first, or no, it can be added to any package. But right now, I can't select multiple things. I should be able to add all three things if I want to. Select and deselect, not strict like the ones above. For the sizing, pillar 4, what I want to do is make it clear that the existing content override is really to be able to tell them that this is going to be your most important content. Maybe we don't need to optimize everything all the time. Maybe some stuff never changes, and that's okay. But if they don't want to spend too much, perhaps there's a way that we can bring that down. And while we have predetermined what their total number of content is, and this should populate based on that information that was provided earlier, we can always override that number and say, well, we don't necessarily need to do it that frequently, or we don't need to do that much of the content because some of it just doesn't need to be there. I want to have us put in here every 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Maybe just add 5 months. And then I think that's it. On the total pricing at the top, I want to show the project amount first and then the monthly amount.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Wie gut kennst du dich aus mit der Hit Music History? Schalt jetzt zum neuen Hitquiz Channel und zock direkt die nächste Runde. Let's quiz.
This is I Love Chill Hop.
when advancing slides in any meeting, I need to make sure that the slide starts at the top, not at the bottom. Every single slide. I need the logo to be larger in the top. Right now it's so tiny that you can barely see it. I don't want you to make the top bar any taller. Let's remove paid amplification for now. And I don't want to make community engagement required. So I'm not talking a lot to you guys because I'm sitting here going through and doing the QA step on this, which is something that is really important to all of this. So what's going on there? Okay, so let's see. Podcast production. I have podcast production. Gosh, this game's resetting because I'm making changes. Cool. Pillar 4 is content optimization, and the proper content optimization lives outside of Pillar 4. It's got its own hard-coded thing. So we have I don't know what's going on here. Got the technical foundation, research and content catalog. I already told it that. Gosh. Maybe I wasn't clear before, but we've got the technical foundations. We've got the research content catalog. That looks right. Content roadmap and AIO strategy is really the this is like the ongoing strategy work. Um, I need to come up with a plan to solve this problem because this is too complicated. Technical foundation, that's the upfront thing. Research and content catalog, that's also going to be inclusive of the content roadmap, the initial content roadmap. That's number two. If they can't see the roadmap, they're not going to understand what it is they're buying on the other side. So that has to be included. So a lot of the stuff from the content roadmap and AIO strategies, some of that stuff is going to be things that happen on a regular basis. But there's like a number three is all messed up. It talks about the content roadmap and AIO strategy. And it talks about all this extra stuff like the pillar cluster map, the editorial calendar, the content briefs, the SME interviews, none of that stuff. Roadmap reviews, like I think all this stuff's been made up. I don't really know. And then you talk about why this matters on this page. It's talking about each topic needs 12 pieces of content to win. That's the why this matters for the content creation page. So basically what we need to have happen is the reporting and analysis needs to be merged together with the ongoing optimization. Those two are one and the same. Optimization is a service that we provide. The ongoing reporting and analysis is all about helping the client to understand what they are getting, what the impact is, and to be able to steer the strategy of the optimization. I think the problem is, the only problem really is that number three doesn't make any sense. Strategic, previously selected. Number three, content roadmap and AIO strategy. It just needs to be merged together with the previous one. And reporting and analysis actually goes with ongoing optimization. Hit the wrong button. That's probably for the better. I'm realizing that three is really out of place. The why this matters is the why this matters for the content creation. And everything that's in this actually belongs in the number two slide. If we don't do the pillar cluster map,
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
basically number three is just wrong. We're still in the foundations part, technical foundation. Then we get into the research content catalog. Content roadmap is going to come out of that so that they actually know, oh, yeah, okay, I want to go ahead and do that. The third step is going to be where we actually create the content. That's the biggest piece. It's also foundational, even though it can be paid for over 12 months. That one seems to be fine. Then we get into ongoing optimization, and this is where I need to define the strategic element of reporting and analysis. That's part of this thing. Also, the ongoing optimization page seems to be at odds with as we mentioned before, sizing pillar 4 content optimization is the same as the actual proper page for pillar 4. So this is out of place. The logo is still way too small relative to everything else that's up there on the page. You didn't actually change the logo, I think, at all. It's still very, very tiny. It looks like there's about as much space above the logo as the height of the logo, and there's as much space below the logo as the height of the logo. Go ahead and inspect this. Figure out why. There's some unnecessary container that's housing our logo with the right-hand sidebar stuff, and it's containing the logo too much. So you need to separate the logo from that. The div flex items. It's not working out. All right, well, this agent is not working out for me today. It's sitting over here trying to figure this stuff out. It says ask me questions, didn't ask me questions. It accepted my next prompt instead of actually letting me answer the questions, I guess. I don't know. So here's where we're at. We've got some starts. You said you asked me questions on the last pillars order, sorting, fixes, or whatever. But you didn't actually ask the questions. I need you to ask those again so that we can get back to it. I probably should be using the product roadmap. This is a little bumpy here. While I let that annoy me, I'm going to go over here to session 1 and see what we got. Before we proceed with your questions, I just want to know that you understand that what I'm talking about is basically the clash between the pricing setup and what's in the slides. So Okay. Um, I think I understand what the problem is. This all makes total sense. It's just when we get to pricing is where there's a disconnect. I'm going to have to take a break and think about this because I know now what the problem is. And I'm going to talk to my agent about this. I understand what the problem is. The strategy, the way that we outline the strategy in the roadmap inside the first presentation is actually correct. We are going to do all those things. We're going to do the technical foundation, but we're also going to fix the problems. And we want to tell them on the educational page why, what some of the things are we might find whenever we're doing a technical audit, and what some of the activities we might need to conduct are to fix it. And also educate people that there could be a range of things that need to happen here, and it could mean that they might need a new website depending on how bad their website is. So I do not like the fact that it says bridge at the top of these slides. It doesn't make any sense to me. But the rest of it makes sense. So we go from content roadmap and AI strategy. Technically, pillar 2 and 3 in this, they're not really called pillars, but in the presentation they say 2 and 3. 2 happens and then 3 happens, and we're presenting that whole thing to them so that they can make a decision about moving forward with the bigger picture, which is going to be the content production. So everything is in order and it's appropriate, but when we get to the pricing page, the challenge that we run into is that those 2 things are not separate steps. They're all in one. The technical audit, content catalog, the content roadmap, the strategy, all of that thing is one big production that we're going to do in the very beginning. So it's really going to be condensed down into 2 things, technical and strategy. On the pricing side, the technical is going to have a remedy that's TBD. I've put that into the pricing. You can see that in the database now. We have to do the audit before we can know what that's going to be. And then beyond that, we do that next project piece so that we can say, here is what you need to know. And then we're going to say, here's how much content you need to produce in order to meet the goals that you've outlined, depending on how many different categories of service you have and everything else. And so that is appropriate for the next stage. Ongoing optimization is the next thing after that. But we need to have some kind of merging of these things to make it. There's also no way for me to edit a user. There's no way for me to add a booking link. There's no way for me to add my own user. I can't edit my own user account.
Check unsere neue Super Sunny Playlist von I Love the Sun.
Ready for the summer.
I love the sun. Alle worldwide Sommerhits und Summer Throwbacks. Latin Pop, R&B, Afrobeats und Amapiano. An I Love Music Channel Tip. I Love the Sun.
This is I Love Chill Hop.
All right. All right. Let's see. It looks like I lost entirely. I entirely lost the ongoing optimization calculator that we had before in favor of these fixed rate services that don't exist. We have that $250 a month calculator that you had that I told you needs to influence what happens on the ongoing optimization page. It considers how many pieces of content we typed in the earlier thing. It has an override and it calculates how much content we're going to create as a result of the content production pack that we sell them. But I'm gonna, I'll read through these plans and I'm gonna wait to push this one up here, but it's complicated, as you can see. So I'm gonna take a little break and give myself the space to think about how I'm gonna overcome these challenges. And I think I just need a little bit of space and time. R&R after a long day. So I feel better about where we're going. I have a little bit more clarity about what's going on. There's only a couple of pricing problems at this point, and the rest of it's really about the presentation itself and how do we convey all the things that we need to convey. I've got to talk about the software that's barely mentioned in this. I want to find a fun way to be able to do that visually. There's going to be a lot that we're going to want to do to be able to convey the total package, the software, the strategy, the thinking, all of it. So as I wrap up here, please follow me at studio.willmelton.com, subscribe at channelrva.com, and hang out with us on Friday night if you're in the Richmond market. We'd love to see you. Let me know what you want to see us do over here. I am working on things that are really important to our business right now, incredibly important to our business. So that's why I'm giving you a little bit of behind the scenes on what it is that I'm working on, and getting closer to wrapping up this build here. So again, a little bit more I've got to do on sorting things out. I'm gonna take a mental break and I'll come back to it. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. We'll see you on next Saturday. We're gonna go live at 1 p.m. assuming I don't have something going on that I've forgotten about that I've committed to. So let me just take a look right now and tell you. That's on the calendar. So I will see you Saturday. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you soon. Catch you on the other side.